Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am William John, founder and CEO, OASISBloc. In my pleasure this stage in and just a second. Today, this is first time announce our new platform. So we very happy and excited present the OASISBloc. And what is OASISBloc? OASISBloc is Oracle blockchain. Our OASISBloc is general purpose platform and data sharing and transaction. Okay, I will show you the video clip about the OASISBloc, and then our CMO, Robert, he give you detailed presentation about the blockchain, our OASISBloc. Okay, show you.
When water is gathered in the middle of the desert and spring rises, it becomes an oasis where plants can grow. Oasis became a passage of trade and distribution and played a pivotal role in the development of civilization. Now, we dream of a new oasis, the OASISBloc. OASISBloc strives to serve as the oasis where scattered data are gathered like rainwater, and the distribution of gathered data realizes smart life, and where data sovereignty is restored, and where a new paradigm begins. Numerous raw data produced in our everyday lives, such as data collected from IoT devices, personal medical data, car driving data, etc., are being accumulated. OASISBloc platform will cross-analyze and process these data based on context to serve as a data hub that can be used in each industry sector. Likewise, OASISBloc standardizes data collected from various domain chains, such as e-commerce, merchants, vehicle, health, game, real estate, etc., and provides transparent verification functions to securely share and provide data. Thus, a disruptive data infrastructure blockchain platform that is the first to make fair use of the benefits generated through rational valuation. The ultimate general-purpose platform for disruptive data sharing and transactions in the real business world. Oracle of Blockchain. OASISBloc.
As you see our blockchain video clip, there are several issues in this blockchain industry still. It should be cleared. Everybody will know that the blockchain industry is still in the early stage. We have many things to be developed and enhanced. Right now, during the last several years, we received some feedbacks and comment from the current issue of the blockchain industry. As you see, there are several issues. First is the standardization, stability, and the no standardization. Also, the profit model system is not good. It does not work well right now. And the other system is the sustainability issue. And unable to share the data between other blockchains. This is a pretty critical issue. There are so many blockchains. Everybody shows that our blockchain is better than the others. But, you know, in this industry, one person cannot survive. We have, in order to go to the further, we have to go together with the other blockchains. So one of the blockchain issues is that sharing the data between the blockchain. That is one of the critical issues in this industry. Also, there is some security still. You know, blockchain itself does not provide the perfect security systems, okay? So there are still arguing issues in this industry. In order to solve those kind of issues, we have this kind of solutions. So the OASISBloc will distribute the value and the data transactions. Normally, most of the blockchain only share the data transaction, not the value. We will get together. And the other thing is oriented platform for the creating collaborative values. Blockchain itself has their own value. We are the pursuit the interblocks together. We have to build the value together. For example, in the blockchain, whatever your main chain got a pretty good value, versus your side chain does not provide the value. That means all the blockchain industry or the debt blockchains are devaluating. Currently, those kind of problem was happening in the certain the main chain is pretty good. The speed and the capability is very good versus due to the lack of the speed on side chain, it does not give the better benefit. So you have to think about those kind of things. The other thing is to maximize the transaction not only for the public data and in an incentive-based ecosystem. Whatever everybody wanted to build the ecosystem, so one of a few person has a very good value. The other person doesn't have the value. Well, when they started using the certain blockchain, later they are much regretted why I have to use it. Right now, some of the very powerful the blockchain does not deliver the value to the side chain. So most of side chain want to move to the other one. So when I meet the many person, ask them, what about this blockchain is good for? I'm sorry, I cannot mention the name, but most of people will got the same problem in the soon later. The other is self-sustainable. Self-sustainable is a pretty important area. Industry, this blockchain should be sustainable. That is very big issues. But during the last 2 or 3 years, the 4,000 blockchain was developed. Last year, according to Bloomberg, 47% of blockchain was disappeared. Only survived right now almost 2,000 blockchains. Out of the 2,000 blockchains, only 8% of blockchain listed in the last year. That means without the listing, another 92% of blockchain will be disappeared. And then they will give the big damage to the investors. You have to think about your blockchain is sustainable or not. So we will provide the self-sustainability to all the blockchains. Another important problem we can solve is all actors participate to define self-collective government systems. Right now in DPO system, governance system is one of the critical issues. They provide the business blockchain partners or node, but nobody cannot guarantee the top-notch burst the last 20 years equal of performance and equal the service for them. So we can rotate within a certain percentage. This is one of our hidden system to do. And the other finally is we will vitalize the ecosystems. So if we vitalize our ecosystem, the value of a token will be increased. Currently, everybody wanted to increase their token value throughout the exchanges. It's kind of money game. Blockchain is not a money game. Blockchain is the real system value, and provide the business domains value together. At that time, the value of your coin will be increased, and your investors and your eco partner will be happy. We can provide those kind of issues together by the Oasis blockchain. Oasis blockchain, we already mentioned that this is really the ultimate in the long-term concept, not just these years. It will take the 3 or 5 years project to do that. The ultimate general purpose platform for destructive data and the transaction in the real business world. Well, during the last 4 years, there are so many blockchains that does not deliver value. There are only few things profitable. And then the other things, it does not is good for the real business. Conceptually good, ideally good. When you implement it in our society, it doesn't work well. That causes many problems. So we will solve it in the real world's business problem together. So let's look at our technology. Before I explain our technology, our technology is not the mature stage, really beginner stage. That's why I will explain later. We will build the main chain together with our partners together. Well, there is a technology. Technology consists of the two chains. One is Oasis channel and the domain channels. Look at this stage is OS chain, and this is domain chain. Well, it is similar with the side chain concept and the main chain, but it is a little difficult. When you next conference, you can see what the difference it is here. But I will tell you about why we use the domain chain. Is originally we also considered to use the side chain, but our partner was angry. Why we can be your domain chain, not the side chain? We wanted to main chain, so I don't want that. So I'm the marketing guy. I thought that it needed to provide the good and the better connotation. So everybody has their own business. We call the business domain. Okay, domain chain is much better. So Oasis channel is kind of a main chain, but the function of Oasis chain is very limited. It will be a bridge between each domain chains. So this is some explanation about our chain configuration. Next is our architecture. Our architecture has 4 different layers. Okay, first the data layer, second the blockchain and the platform layer, third is service and the presentation layer. First, the service layer, a certain business may need their service. At that time, they can use the service layer. A certain domain business doesn't need it. It doesn't need it. So look at the data layers first. Is a blockchain ledger data is, and the storage, all data is here. And this one is some of the infrastructure engine and the middleware. Also, we will add some AI technology and the big data analysis. There is a domain chain and those kind of chain is within the blockchain platform layers. And the service layer, presentation layer is a decentralized app and the health mobile, so many things. It's similar as a decentralized app. So if you look at the more detail about our domain chain has the data will send and receive within the IPFS nodes. So the node has 2 issues. First, usage interface, and the other is data delivery. So within the domain chain, there is divided the on-chain node and the off-chain node. On-chain node is kind of the provide what domain it is, and the second off-node chain is kind of to keep the data. It will be a certain case overloaded, and a certain case it will separated. So it can be increased our speed and the transaction speed especially. And the second Oasis chain is good for sharing value and the data between the domains. So when the data was what's the problem? Sorry, I miscalculated. Okay. Very sensitive. This is one. It's OASISBloc platform node. There are 4 different functions: Oasis chain, exchange means the data exchange, and the domain chain management system here, data marketplace. This is the component of the Oasis blockchain platform node, and the data will deliver the data via DApps. Also, it is linked to the domain chains together. So it goes to also linked to the external chain Oracle SDK. It will be flexibly work with the other domain systems. The interchain has 3 distinctive features. First is the connection and the value and the data. Connection means it is good for the connected between different blockchains. And the value is a token and the coin value together. And the third will be data exchanges between the domains, okay? In the very early stage, we will not allow us the data change directly from this domain to the other domain chains throughout our Oasis chain systems. But later, if the technology was developed, and then other chain already verified their system, at that time we will allow them to directly domain to domain. So the ecosystem and the tokenomics system will be much better at that time. There are 5 different key features governance system. Really good governance system using the eDPoS consensus algorithm. DPoS is everybody, you know that, delegated POS system. DPoS system is equitable. So out of the 20, we will add the 20 or 30, and then we will rotate it based on their performance systems. On the transaction optimization is a transaction issue. You know, most of the blockchain want the much better and high speed. Because of the consensus algorithm, we can be basically solved. Before I come here, I analyzed all the most powerful blockchain, the transaction speed is. You know, the Ethereum and Bitcoin is far behind the EOS systems because their node is very limited. EOS is only 21 node versus the other blockchain using the EPOW has more than 1,000 nodes. So basically the system will be the very low speed. The other powerful is the interoperability. I already mentioned several times that the chain between the domain, it may be good for you. And there is scalability. It can be scalability. I will have many eco partners, so I will show you later. And the standardization is a very important thing. So we catch up to some the idea when we developed our domain chain, especially medical, which you heard, that is a common data model. In this blockchain, it does not have a standard model data transaction and the modeling systems. We will develop those kind of ideas and implement it in our Oasis blockchains. Well, Echo Partner is really powerful. As you see already, our blockchain will be used a variety of the domain business. We already contracted with the 13, and just before I come here, we have the 17 domain chain is already contracted work with us. Our target is end of this year, we will be at the 15 domain chains. If you are interested, also, let's talk about it. We need global domain chains together with us. This is one of the processes between the Oasis channel and the domain chain. That's a very simple way. There is a middle, there is Oasis blockchain and the Oasis chain together. Each domain chain will link throughout the Oasis chains together. So this can be one of our merit, and then I will provide some more detail by the use cases. Okay. What is our ongoing domain chain project still? I will show it briefly. First one is a vehicle chain. We already work with this project, so there is the Tesla model behind that. Let's think about when the car system was changed, everything can be detected, all the data system. Already one of the Korean popular company developed some device and attached it into the car. So all the data will be transported to the vehicle chain, and then GPS, EDUS, TMS, tires, the information will deliver a certain device within your motor car. And then provide the real data will be transported to the vehicle chain, so that the accumulated data will be utilized for car insurance and the variety of your car management system. So it can be good for the car sharing systems right now. Another model is we already showed, and then the domain chain named the Smart Ready already explained and presented in front of you. That is one example about that. You know, PHS platform is already well-developed system by the centralized system. When you use our domain chain, we can be covered by our blockchain. You know, it's especially in the medical area, blockchain is really good. According to the McKinsey report, which industry is good for when the blockchain is implemented? The first is yes, finance industry. Third will the medical. In order to utilize the medical data, given the current centralized system, cannot use the very sensitive medical data. So when you covered by the blockchain, also receive the permission from the individual, and then we also report to the individuals their data usage by their website or the mobile, we can be used to. So ultimately, this data will be helpful for develop the new medicine and the more precise medicine together. The other service will be e-commerce. Right now, the e-commerce within the country is not the big problem. You can pay by the current centralized card systems. But the cross-border, let's say that I want to buy something in the China, you have to pay the money. It's a current issue and the tax issue. There are so many issues. If you use the blockchain system, you purchase order by the internet, and then second, the product delivery by the normal delivery system, the smart contract is much, much better. When the product delivers, there is damage, you cannot change it. Your mind, so that all the e-commerce system will be used one of the payment system, okay? Last is the game. You know, game is one of the hot issue right now. There is a Olympic game. Also, e-commerce is the same Olympic games. So they're very popular for the young generation. But the mother or father, their parents is much concerned about the young people's too much spending for playing the game. In Korean cases, age under the 13 cannot play after 10 o'clock. Government controlled. But at that time, when they're gaming, they are purchasing the items, okay? So you cannot authenticate the items, okay? And then within a token, we can control everything. So we are also working with one of the Korean gaming company. So when you look at the summarize our system, right now we are the platform provider stage. That means we are alliance with our domain chain and the others, the partners together. And the second, next year we are considered smart data. We are developed common data systems. All data is merged, and then the data will be very smart by the AI system and the big data analysis. And the second, ultimately, smart life. Because of the enhanced data, all this life will be much, much better. That is our milestone. If you look at the more milestone of this project, this year, well, alliance expansion. Right now is 17 and the end of this year 15. So we will expand our alliance, and then we will soon launch our official website. If you get the more information, look at our website, OASISBloc.com. And the second, we will start the ICO. First, we will start the private sale next first quarter. And the second, well, after finishing the TGE, we will open the testnet. As soon as we open the testnet, we will list our coin. Our coin name Oasis will be in the exchange. Then mainnet will be open around the second quarter of 2020. So if you need more information, please visit our booth. Booth is back behind there with one of the domain chain named SmartMedi, also the OASISBloc. Thank you for your participation and the listening. This is all of our OASISBloc presentations. Thank you.